Hey folks, welcome back to the Metal Mill 52 workshop. My name is Bill. This is my shop. We're working on an LBSC Tich locomotive, little 3.5-inch gauge steam locomotive. In this week's episode, I'm just fixing a little problem that I noticed a while ago during the build, and that is the actuating arm for the lubricating pump here. This has the steam oil that gets pumped into the cylinders basically, and I had a problem that I'll show you in the next couple of segments. It wasn't working, so long story short, I had to drill a couple of holes and make some adjustments with the actuating arm so that it's working good now. Also, as you can see, I'm making a paper, or have made a paper cover. I'm going to plan to make a boiler jacket here for the boiler, and there's a few other things I need to make while it's in a relatively disassembled state. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode. It'll be pretty short, but shows some nice interesting details of the locomotive. If, as always, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to show me some encouragement, please ask any questions that you might have. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, thanks so much for being a part of the project. Have a great week, everybody. Attending to a bunch of little details now on the Tich chassis before I get ready for the final assembly, and one of those things is the ratchet pawl mechanism on the oil tank here, the little lubricator. And I don't know if this will come out or not, but I had thought I had fixed this, but the problem is that the stroke is very short, the throw, if you will, from the water, the axle driven water pump. That's what activates this rod here, which goes up to activate the oil pump, the lubricator. The stroke, the throw is very short, and it's not enough always to move the large wheel enough to engage the small wheel. And I thought for a while there it was a problem with the springs and so forth on here, but the more I studied it for about an hour last night, tried to make some different adjustments. Again, I thought I had solved it, but I really haven't, and I don't want to have the whole thing to be put back together and have this problem. So what I'm going to do is take the arm off and drill a couple of holes. Hopefully I won't have to take it all apart to take the arm off. I looked at a good Keith Appleton video yesterday, but that is just one of those little details that we need to have it fixed before we put everything together and put running boards and tanks and all the superstructure on. Okay, I slipped one of these little Black Gates wrenches on their assembly, and let's see, there you go. See, it works if you adjust it right, and the throw doesn't really need to be that long, but just a little bit longer than the actual throw that I'm experiencing. So I'm going to try to take these two nuts off and hopefully be able to slide the arm off and drill a hole further up the arm so that the shorter throw will actuate it. Here's a nice view of the underside. That's the arm I'm talking about. So I just scribed a line at the top of the clevis, and you can see that about probably where the right level will be is along the lines of the hole for the spring here, right here. So that's what I'm going to shoot for, is to drill the hole up here a little bit. Okay, the arm came off really easily. Very happy about that. It was just these two nuts and that washer, and there's the screw that I was using to hold the clevis together. So you can see the hole. I think I actually drilled that hole here. I think I did. Yeah, it looks like it. Kind of amateurish. And so I just need to disconnect that spring now, and so I have a clear shot, and drill the other hole there. Kind of tempted to try an idea just to experiment, since it was so easy to take that rod off. I wonder if I could use the spring hole for the clevis and just drill a different hole for that spring, or use one of the larger holes. I might try that. Worth a shot. Well, nothing worked so far. So as you can see, I've marked out 3 little holes 1/8 of an inch apart That should give me a lot more adjustability. I've crazy glued the arm down to a piece of aluminum, marked out the holes, and used my center punch to make little initial spots to drill the holes. And I'll be drilling 1/16 inch holes. Okay, the holes came out perfect. So you can see the three that I drilled here that are in center, all in line with each other. And I think I'll start out, I'll just put it back together and try with the middle hole and hope that works. But now I've got plenty of choices. Alright, looks like my little project worked. I'll show you the clevis. I've got it on the uppermost hole now. See if I can rotate the wheels by hand. You can see it's clicking. It wasn't doing this before, but you can see that this ratchet wheel is rotating nicely, and this one is grabbing it. So, you know, it takes like a whole revolution to go around to squirt out one little drop of oil, but at least it's making the ratchet part is working. That's what I'm trying to say. And that wasn't doing that before. So now I can focus on the rest of things, like getting everything ready for the plate work, the running boards that go on here. Let me show a couple of cool tools. I finally got a chance to really use the tiny wrenches that I bought from Blackgates Engineering. I keep them in an Altoid tin there, and I did use both of these on this little repair project, so that was very helpful. And also some little crafting beading pliers that the family gave me for Christmas. I think they got them at a little hobby store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. They came in a set. They're kind of small and dainty, but they have nice curved and pointy ends for grabbing tiny things, so very helpful. Of course, the forceps were handy as well. Okay, here you can clearly see these were the original two holes here that were in the arm, and then this was the original hole. This third one that's up and further back was the original one for the spring, and then you can see the bottommost of the extra holes that I just drilled. So I drilled 3 of them, and I've actually got the arm connected to the topmost hole. And I did have to rebend the rod just a teeny bit just to make the clearance, but I think all is well now. Right here, pretty happy with how that all came out. Clearly this oil reservoir was made for larger locomotives and with a bigger throw, so it's kind of excessive having that arm sticking out, but as long as the pump works, that's the main thing.